All right. And so this week's patron shout out goes to Cody Driver. Just want to say thank you for being a patron. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for, just sticking, with us, even with George in these trying times, because right now he looks like freaking Casper the Ghost. So thank you.
Thank you.
Brum,
Thank
brum,
you. Thank you for supporting
car.
my. Do you remember when Kim Kardashian did that?
I mean, it's I normally say, George, you're looking too tan. George, you need a tan.
Ooh! No, well, I'm doing it tomorrow.
So thank you, Cody.
So thank you. It's going to pay for that.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Horror Hour.
So sweet.
We all go a little mad.
Get you. Here's Johnny.
All right. Well, hello and welcome to the Horror Hour, place we discuss, we debate, we disagree on all things horror. I'm one of the hosts here, Yutaka. Hello. And today I'm joined with George.
Dab 2? Who don't do that? Sequels suck. Hi.
Oh, Jesus. It's going to be a long one. And as always, my favorite. How are you today, Liam?
Can you hold a second? I wanted to do a quote. I never do one. Hello?
Anyways, if you can't tell, we are going to talk. Actually, I'm really excited about this. We are going to talk best sequels, some of our favorite sequels. And I'm going to just let you know, mine, not all are horror, because there's some really great sequels out there. So
she's going off book.
I am, but because we already know what George's are, we're just going to go ahead and start with that. So George, give me your first one.
So I'm being I actually feel so much anxiety over this, but today I'm going to give you no Scream sequels in this because you already know that I like and I talk about it enough. So these ones I'm mentioning today are not Scream.
What?
And it's like, it makes me feel sick, but anyway. Yeah.
What is happening?
I know.
Am I dead?
I thought, you know what? Let's do it. It's a new month. So it's going to be hard, but no. So my first sequel is a movie that the original was so iconic, and Chew just reacted to it the other week, and it is Wreck 2, because the original one is so good, and if you haven't seen Chew's reaction, please go and watch it because it is just hilarious as always.
It was.
Period.
But Chew, if you are watching, switch off for a minute because I'm going to talk about the sequel. To me, the sequel was just so good. Now, a bit of background is I actually watched the sequel first. Because it was just on, and I'd heard of Wreck, and I was like, let me just put this on. And I just thought it was so dark, it was so gritty, and the story, I thought was such an interesting way to do this story and to progress a story. I'm trying to do it too much without spoilers, but to progress a story about zombies or a virus in a new way that felt fresh. Because of course, I mean, in the late 2000s, we've seen a lot of zombie movies now, and it's like, how do you keep it fresh? And I really do think that Wreck did a great way
in Spanish.
You do, and you make it just scary and good. You know, something that maybe we could learn about in English-speaking countries is make a scary movie. So yeah, I just think it's fantastic. The cast are brilliant. I love it because again, still inside the apartment complex, it just feels so claustrophobic, and like there's not many places to go to, so you do feel kind of tent in at times. And yeah, I just thought it was a really great way to. Obviously, the first one, did it need a sequel? No, of course it didn't. But it made a lot of money, and they were like, let's do it. And I think that Rec 2, the other ones the last one's not great, but the third one was fine. But Rec 2, I think, was a pretty damn good sequel and continued the sort of horror and creepy elements and created more of a narrative and storyline for the undergoing story throughout the first one. So my first one is Rec 2. I love it, and I just think it's creepy AF.
Okay.
Yeah, but was it as good as Quarantine?
Did you see Quarantine 2? Jesus, that was you think Quarantine's a struggle? That was the worst one.
That was a direct-to-video one.
Yeah,
that was definitely.
I didn't even know there was a sequel to Quarantine, so there we go.
Maybe that's something for you to watch tonight. But yeah. No,
all right. Well, that was a good choice. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, Liam, how about yours? Give me a sequel.
I'm going with A Quiet Place 2.
Yutaka.
Because Yutaka still refuses to acknowledge that A Quiet Place 1 exists. So I'm going to discuss the sequel, in which we went into it extremely nervous because of how good the first one was, of can they live up to the first one? And I think they succeeded in keeping up with the first one. The opening of the film is probably one of the best one-shot type sequences I've seen in a film for a very, 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 very long time. Mm-hmm. I think it continues to be very... what's the word? I can't think of the word anymore. It's like scary and I can't remember what the word is.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. Anyway, it's
undescribable is what it is.
Yeah, there we go. Never try and think of words when you're stupid. The way this continue to use the sound design in it not just being quite a lot of films, like it's all visual that makes you scared and jump and things like that, where this is you can't even like close your eyes. If it's getting a bit too much, you can't even just close your eyes, because you're still going to have that god awful sound in your ears, absolutely panicking the hell out of you, because it's the silence. And then it's the heightened, very small noises, and it's like, oh,
what was that?
What was that again?
Yeah, that.
Kind of like Jim Carrey.
And then obviously we got really good new cast members in this one. Cillian Murphy, as always, is a great addition to anything. He also has a good sequel to one of his films. And I'm really excited to see where a third one's going. So that is second one. Even though Yutaka still refuses. I'm just like, yeah. I completely threw myself off trying to figure out the words.
So you throw yourself off every time. Come on now.
I know. I try to think of what these bits. I plan it out in my head so that I know what to say, so that I don't get shouted at for forgetting things. But then I forget them anyway, and everything just goes awry.
And here we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I really like the sequel, and I feel like it was hit. Or some people didn't like it. Some people were like, "Oh, it should have just stayed as like a one thing." But I do think that it had some really great things that built upon the first one. And I mean, I love Emily Blunt. And...
It did really well at the box office too, especially weren't we still kind of in the height of COVID where like box office numbers were not great, and it did a really good job.
Yeah. So
it did.
I'm looking forward to another one too.
So, well, I will then, good choice. I will go with mine. And, you know, unfortunately, I know George's doing something new, but I purposely wore this little lovely romper, you know, with my little xenomorphs.
At least Yutaka isn't breaking the mold.
Yep.
That keeps us grounded.
So
keeps us
I'm
real.
going to have to say for a sequel, I'm going to go with Aliens.
Well, there's no accounting for taste. Sorry,
Yeah, you can F off. But anyways, Aliens 2, or just, well, Aliens, really built on its predecessor. Again, just like sequels, bigger cast, bigger deaths, tons of aliens this time. You know, I really enjoy also lots of sexy men, so that's always a plus. Seriously, the cast was hot, you know?
Yeah.
And I just love also it's supposed to be futuristic, so when you see them in their like vehicles and it looks so boxy and weird, I don't know why it makes me laugh. And then they got these huge guns, they're like I don't know. It just
because in the future, instead of getting smaller, things got bigger.
True, very true. And then, of course, you know, we have the lovable Newt, who, in my opinion, I'm like, why are you trying to save her? Just let her go.
Actually, in Resident Evil 4,
exactly. You know, save yourself. Then we get Lance Henriksen as Bishop. And he is just the coolest android and has a really, really nasty, wicked death. And that fight scene is just one of my favorites. And I mean, again, it's a truly gory horror film. And Sigourney Weaver, who I adore, was nominated for an Oscar. I mean, she's like the Glenn Close at this point, though. Yeah. I don't think she'd get one. Which is sad, but you know, could be
never
worse.
Say never.
But
they do give final go.
Yeah. Jamie Lee did it.
Yeah, that was her first. Yeah, that was her first and only probably nomination. Sigourney's been nominated 5 times.
5, is it? Wow.
Yeah, and one of them's for Aliens, which I do. Again, I think that's really cool. But yeah, I truly do love.
5 times.
Yeah.
5 times.
Aliens, Gorillas in the Mist. Working Girl. There's 2 I can't remember though.
But baby, look at the material. I mean, look at the material. You'll be the judge.
I believe you, so don't worry. Just
you never won. Let's just put it that way.
The more you know.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
She's just, I think, you know, then of course she went to TV and then now she's back in movies because of Avatar. But honestly, Aliens, it's cool. It's bloody. It's high octane action as well. And again, when Bishop gets torn in half and the alien queen steps out.
She's like, hey.
Right? Hey, queen.
And what is the famous line, Yutaka?
I don't know quotes. You know I don't. So just say the damn quote already.
Well, fun fact. It's actually, get away from her, you bitch.
Thank you.
Even though Randy says stay. Fact? Because in Scream, Randy says stay away and says it's film class. He's actually wrong. So,
yeah.
Get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah.
So
such a great scene. Ugh.
It is good.
But... all right. Enough about my love of aliens, even though I'm not a fan of James Cameron and he's the director.
I will agree with you on that one. I'm not a fan of Ridley Scott either. Although I think Ridley Scott is from
Ridley
where I
Scott
live.
was actually quite hilarious, though, on the press tour for House of Gucci.
Yeah.
He didn't give 2 fucks, and I love that.
Like, I'm just over it at this point.
I've had enough.
All right.
It's
So,
Ridley Scott from Where I Live.
huh?
You told us he was, and I just believed you, but then I believe anything. So
What?
Oh yeah, he's from South Shields. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
Ridley
a sand
Scott
dancer.
is from near Liam, so
Oh,
Liam
okay.
could have been
It's,
Ridley
no,
Scott.
that's from
but
where
he's
I'm
not.
from.
Oh,
I
all
live
right.
in Washington, but I'm from South Shields.
I see. Well, all right. So let's now move on to George. What's your next best sequel?
So I'm trying to think which one to do next. Okay, so I'm gonna do it's hiding just in the. I'm trying to rephrase it this way. Hiding in the very back. Probably can't see it, but it is Paranormal Activity: The Marked Ones. Now I've mentioned this film before on the channel because this film is directed and written by Mr. Christopher Landon, and is the best of the franchise. The original one is great and it stands alone as itself, but as sequels, this one, and I really like 3, and I think it's mixed on 3, but this one is the best one and should have been the last one, but it wasn't. So anyway, we're talking about this film, forget about the others. This one is really, really good. It took a spin on Paranormal Activity. It gave it a new it gave us a new story that still linked to the original. We got old cast members back from previous films. We got the story progressed from something that when I watched that, went and see that first one in 2010, I had no idea that there was going to be this depth of story, which I loved. If other people just went for scares, and I get it, that's fine. But this one for me, because I was so invested in the story, and this built so much upon the I'm forgetting words now. Not the legacy, but when you build the story behind, that built so much upon this world building, shall we say, that I was like, oh my God, I love the way that they're expanding this. It had a fantastic end. The very end was amazing. The third act was great.
George is always invested when it comes to things expanding.
Yes, to me, if it doesn't expand, well, I don't want to see it. And so, and the cast was brilliant. The main guy was hot. So that's always helpful. And it was just great to see like what I would say is like real people, like everyday people, like in this film, because normally you get the stereotypical, like it's the boyfriend and the girlfriend or something in the house, and this one wasn't that, and it kind of made it feel a bit larger in scale and just worked so well. And yeah, I find myself, if I'm like, which one should I revisit, I tend to revisit this one the most, because it is just beautiful and scary and all things. And it could have been that it wrapped it up so well that to me, I class it as the final, because it did come basically full circle in the end. And so yeah, if you are gonna watch them, feel free to stop at the marked ones, because it is the best one. I'm just being honest here. I'm here to be honest, and I honestly can't do anything other than that. So yeah, for me,
It just likes that it ends with the exploration of the common folk.
Yes, and just it's just so good. So yeah, I can't say enough about it. It's so for like the fifth film, yes, in the franchise, to be like really, really good is when the others have just been fine or all right, is like usually unheard of. So hats off to Christopher Landon, because he was like, you know what, I'm going to write this and direct it to hell, and he did a fantastic job with it.
Okay,
that's all I'll say.
Nice.
So I oh wait, no, not mine. That's not my turn.
Go
Liam.
On, Liam.
I don't think we've ever brought this up, so that's why I went with this one.
Ooh.
I can't remember us ever bringing this one up.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, and that's a good one too. Yes.
Because as you're aware, Cloverfield is one of the only found footage films that I actually enjoy.
The original.
Yeah, the original Cloverfield.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very excited.
It was a good original film, but yeah, no, this 10 Cloverfield Lane is, yeah. I'll give you my thoughts, but I'll let you go ahead and.
Yeah. Obviously, no one was really understanding what was going to happen with it, because it was such like a last minute, like, it's coming out, here you go, it's out. Obviously not as here, it's coming out, here it is, as Cloverfield Paradox was. Jesus, that was he is a new film, and it's out now.
And
here's a trailer. Go watch it. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was terrible. I'd seen worse sci-fi stuff.
I felt But anyways, yeah, back to
it was a bit overwrought, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, so 10 Cloverfield, we all went into it being like, and you were sitting there and you were watching it and you were like, how has this got like any connection? Because just nothing was happening that was like related to obviously the previous one. And then, boom, no, aliens. But up until that point, you had it was such a dark, claustrophobic, creepy film. And yeah, the way John Goodman acted in that film, you're used to John Goodman being the lovable, chubby,
good guy
dad figure, good guy. And so seeing him like that, I think added to the heightened like creepiness of him. So that really, really helped. What Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Assassination 3.
Yes. She was excellent. Who was
the acting in general was really good in this film.
Overall.
Yeah, I can't remember the actor's name, the other guy, the young guy.
Yeah, who was he?
But he's in a few
thing
stuff
in front of you called a computer that you could possibly IMDb something. I don't know, just a thought if you're curious.
And that's cheating.
But while he's doing that, I would say I loved.
My God, it was John Gallagher Jr.
And who the hell are they?
Who's John Gallagher Sr.?
Oh, all right. I mean, 10 Cloverfield Lane was so interesting because obviously like you said, you didn't know how it was going to connect. It felt like this huge, complete, like tonal shift, something incredibly different. But the tension this film had was so good. Oh my God.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Uh-oh.
This man is a procedural veteran. He has been in all of them.
All the
you
Law
should
and
be
Orders?
ashamed. He's like Law and Order, NYPD things. I don't know.
For how many episodes, though? Like in episode?
I don't know.
Well, then
it just
you can
says he's been in
the
there.
hole. Jerk. Anyways, yeah. So, do you have any thoughts on it, George?
I do. I remember when the trailer dropped and I was like, oh, we're doing this. And I thought, hats off to J.J. Abrams, who made his coin on Star Wars The Force Awakens and said, I'm going to I'm going to take a concept that's already been written and I'm going to stick an ending on it so it attaches to Cloverfield and put Cloverfield in the name, and then I've got a sequel. I thought, you know what? Good for you. Because originally it had nothing to do with
Star Trek.
No, J.J. Abrams did Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
it was Star Trek.
Hold on. He also did
but it was
Star
after
Trek
Star Wars. Yeah, he did. But it was after Star Wars The Force Awakens came out that this film did.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Surely not.
I'm sure it was.
He still did.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. But this film, I'm almost certain this film came out after Star Wars The Force Awakens.
When did The Force Awakens come out?
2000 and when did this come out? Will the one do
2016.
And The Force Awakens came out 2015. Yeah. So that was the December, and then this was that year. So he made his money, and he said, "Let's take this concept that wasn't originally Cloverfield. Let's stick the ending on with the aliens, and let's put Cloverfield in the title." And it works. I was like, I will be seated, and I was seated several times actually. So I just think the cast was a small cast, but they all were just fantastic. They all bounced so well off each other, and again, like Liam has said, the sort of claustrophobia element added to it, and you really, for a while, aren't sure, like, is this guy crazy or is this really happening? And I like that you never really knew what was going on, and although he technically was still a bad person.
He was. Well, what's very interesting? I was looking at this since we have IMDb. Damien Chazelle was one of the writers.
Really?
Really? Because I wasn't.
know. I'm quite like baffled. Like, holy cow.
Oh my god, yeah.
And the director, Dan Trachtenberg, he just recently directed Prey.
Oh, so he did, and that was fantastic.
Fabulous. Wow.
Well, the more you know.
I know, that's crazy.
Oh my god, so he'd already done Whiplash when he did 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's crazy. But yeah, so I think we're all in agreement. That was a great film.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, I'm kind of shook right now. Because I loved it. I just didn't know that. Wow. Holy crap. You know what? I think for a sequel, I think I'm just going to roll right in. And this was not planned. But since I saw the director's name, I'm changing up one of my picks because I really effing love this sequel. And that's Prey.
Yeah.
I have to kind of say, like,
that.
Prey was, I love Predator and I love the series. I know, obviously, Predator's good. Predator 2's, it's all right, but it's still fun. Then you've got like the Alien vs. Predators, and we're like, oh, yikes, what's happening here? And then you had
Alien vs. Predator Requiem.
And then, then you got like, I think, another Predator film, like 2 more recent Predator films.
Yeah.
Because you've got the Adrian Brody one, don't you?
But this one, let me tell you, I love the fact they decided to take this all the way back, put it on a reservation, though, cast these actors and highlight them, but also, oh my God, that puppy dog. Let me tell you, they win like just the best award ever. I think Amber Midthunder, though, was just phenomenal in this role.
Yeah.
And she kicked so much ass. And I loved the fact that, she just wanted to hunt. She wanted to prove herself. She doesn't care that she's a woman, shouldn't matter, because it shouldn't. But I love that she was showing all these men up. And then meanwhile, though, you get some gnarly deaths. You get the Predator themselves, though, is a very lean Predator, which we're not used to seeing. Mm-hmm. And when you see the actor, too, oof, he's very lean, too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. You could stab me any day. Yeah, But the real thing is, the with Prey, it just...
Plot twist, Yutaka's the bottom now.
I would think that with Prey, it was interesting because it went to Hulu. It didn't hit the big screen. It had every chance to basically fail, but it didn't. Critically, audience, it was well received. And I think it made a star out of Amber and maybe revitalized a franchise that we long thought was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I would have to say Prey was a really, really good sequel.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I think both of the main Native American talent really shone in that. And it's a shame they didn't get to shine on the big screen, because I think it would have been such positive representation for that community to see on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do love that they
just assumed it was going to do bad because the other ones did bad. I'll not say the poo word. And it backfired because it didn't. Yeah. And people liked it.
Well, there's a dubbed version too. I think fully dubbed in is it Comanche?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, which I think I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So no, Amber and was it Dakota?
The dog or the
male?
The brother.
The brother.
I think his name.
The actor Dakota. Yeah, they were excellent.
I agree. Yeah, it again, it's phenomenal film. So we'll move on to you, Casper.
Thank you. So
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
never seen it, but I'm sure it was great.
So
So
start calling
I'm
Patty mayonnaise down there. He's so white.
I'm going to go with this one. I'll save till I watched this again recently, and I was like,
Oh,
well, I watched them
shocker.
all again recently.
Shocker.
George watched something seen before. I watched them all again recently because one of my friends has been reacting to them, so I was like, oh, I'll watch them again. And that is the Final Destination series. Which, do you know what? The great early noughties, just fun series. The first one, great, Jeff Riddick, iconic, and the rest, just, well, apart from the fourth one, are all great films. But my favorite is Final Destination 2. And honestly, in my rankings, it's actually number one because when I know that the first one is iconic and the plane is iconic, but when I think of Final Destination, I'm thinking of that log truck and I'm thinking of the highway.
Yes.
And that's the first thing that my mind goes to. And that opening was just, they were like, how can we one up like a plane? They were like, okay, we're going to just literally destroy a highway. And it was so good. Like,
So nasty, some of those
like
deaths.
the death and with the motorbike and and like the water bottle under that, like all of them were just so great. The opening, fantastic. Great cast as well. And then to see Ali Larter, like, I mean, I'm a huge Ali Larter stan. I'd even loved her in the Resident Evil films, even though maybe it wasn't the great casting, but she did the best of what she had. But she was great in this. In the first film, she was obviously a bit more timid and kind of, the quiet one, but I liked in the second one that she had a bit more about her. And I was like, yeah, come on, I'm like liking this.
Yeah.
She feel like she survived something she's got through, and I thought it was great. And she did a great job there. And Tony Todd, again, he has one scene, and to me it's just like I think about it all the time. And when he says, like, you need to look for the signs, oh my god, I've forgotten the girl's name, but look for the signs, Kimberly. And then she's like, how do you know my name? And he just gives that little cheeky smile, and you're like, oh my god, who is he? So just fantastic. And again, the deaths, I'll always remember as a child watching, and it stuck with me for ages, Nora, who I think is the mother, her death in the elevator. To me now, I can watch it fine. When I was a kid, with those when they get stuck on the head, like that I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. And the poor kid but again, all these films are great because you sit there and I would love to rewatch these films again, like not knowing anything about them, like because trying to guess the deaths of each one, like when he's in the chair in the dentist, and you're just constantly on edge. And I think this one did a great way of building upon the first one and just kind of upping the deaths. And then of course the iconic, could you make that a little bit quieter? Or put it on silent mode, thank you. Like, just so many great moments in it. So I just really love that film. To me, it does kind of just go ahead of the original because I just think it won up. The opening's fantastic, great cast and great deaths.
I would say my favorite of that series is actually the third one.
I can see that. I'm one of my friends think that.
Because I love that you get two mass sequences. You get the roller coaster in the beginning, and in the end you get the subway scene, and that really was so good. But that log scene though,
I'm still like, I think that's 2 and 3 have always stood out to me when it comes to that franchise, because there's nothing in 1 that's ever made us like scared of anything. That makes sense. Like, I'll still go on a plane. I'll still like go in the shower. Like, I'll still do everything that happens in them films. Where the second one, if I am in a car with someone and I see not even a log truck, just anything with anything cylindrical in it where they could possibly fall off, and I'm like ragging the driver's arm, like, get the fuck out of the way of that thing.
You immediately change lanes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Get off and you get back on later.
Slow down.
I'm sure you do get off, George.
And then obviously the same with the third one. I've never obviously I had to step on a sunbed for medical reasons last summer. But up until that point, after watching Final Destination 3, I had never been on a sunbed since. It had terrified me that much.
Yeah.
So I think I would only get the standing ones after that.
Yeah, the sun showers, yeah. I used to hold it like open right just in case with my hand.
Yeah, that's why like after that scene, I was just like, oh my God, if I'm gonna tan, I'm gonna go in the standing ones because absolutely not.
Nope. I was quite lucky. Like the ones for me, psoriasis, they are standing ones, so it's fine. I'm not going to get trapped in it. But like,
Still.
I'm not doing a sunbed like a
No.
real one, like a lie down one. Nope.
All right. Well, the good one,
Thank you.
George. Liam, what's your next one?
Well, my next one was going to be Final Destination 3, but there's no point now.
Sorry.
So
You gave an honourable mention there.
I did. That's why I just quickly like chucked it in at the end. So I will go with Halloween H2O because I think it's one of the better Halloween films. I think it's the best of any of the Halloween sequels. I don't care.
Better than 2.
Better than 2. No, I'm standing by it.
It's not hard to be better than.
Well, no. Yeah, that is now a film with 2. No, has Michelle Williams won the Oscar?
No,
Or she's the new Amy Adams, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Never
She's
mind.
had 5
I was going to
nominations
say
as well.
Yeah. One day she'll get there.
Not after she fucking butchered Glinda, she shouldn't, but anyway, go on.
Huh?
She butchered
obviously
her.
great and powerful.
Good God. Get over it.
I mean, he's right. She butchered Glinda.
I mean,
But it was alright because Mila Kunis destroyed the Wicked Witch of the West.
I was going to say that movie was terrible. So, anyways,
poor Rachel Weisz. Yeah, like the school setting was really fun. It was fun to see Jamie Lee Curtis be more like Jamie Lee Curtis, but not as Jamie Lee Curtis now. Because I feel like she did lean back into being Jamie Lee Curtis in the newer Halloween films.
Okay.
But she was more fun in H2O than she was in the new ones, I think. I liked the overall younger cast. I thought they were all fun. I thought there was some quite fun kills in that one. LL Cool J. It's always fun to have LL Cool J just randomly appear in horror films. Deep Blue Sea, for example. It was the end of the 90s. Yeah, it was just the end of the 90s. LL Cool J would just randomly appear with his terrible acting and make things fun again. Okay. What was Josh Hartnett?
Mm-hmm. Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett. I mean, still terrible actor. But he did have that, like, he was fine as like a teen. Like, he was good in The Faculty. He wasn't acting. He was just being himself.
I mean, that's a good film too, but yeah, I get it. No, yeah. H2O is, yeah. I think a lot of people look back and have very fond memories of H2O. I think the only person that doesn't would probably be the one who's pursing his lips right now, thinking he's Miranda Priestley. Jesus.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah. But I think when it came out, it was on the 20th anniversary. They gave it a good story. I really enjoyed it. A good setting. Now, obviously, it's all been retconned, which I'm not mad about because I did like Halloween 2018. To be honest, I really did, and I loved Halloween. Actually, I really enjoyed Halloween Kills as well because I literally just wanted kills. And that's what I got.
Yeah.
Even though it's a filler film, but I would have to say, yeah, H2O is probably one of my favorites when I think about, I don't know, in Halloween sequels. Yeah, because I don't like any of them ones with Jamie Lee or Jamie Lloyd.
Jamie Lloyd.
Ugh. Can't with her.
I'm not commenting on that part. Feel like that's the part that got everyone angry at you the last time.
Oh, it was, and I sorry. You know, I like the actress like in her other roles that she's done. I just you know, some child actors, and she was a child actor, you know, they gotta start somewhere, and sometimes you're not great right out the gate. And that was just whew.
Correct. Look at the Harry Potter cast. Jesus.
Bitch, you better be joking.
Hmm.
You go back and watch Philosopher's Stone.
Oof.
I'ma kick her ass. On my way.
So like
rough.
Yeah, because when she
Rougher than
reprised-
George's butthole.
True. But like when Danielle Harris didn't reprise, but when she showed up in Rob Zombie's Halloween series, she rocked. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I just didn't like the character of Jamie Lloyd. I just don't think that character was good.
And you are allowed to have them thoughts.
And if
just
y'all
as the
hate
people
me
in the
for it-
comments are allowed to come for you for it.
Yep.
But here's the difference. I don't go on a fucking 8-9 minute tirade like, you know, George.
Have I even
when he
I haven't
talks
said it as spoken?
Now, why am I in it?
And you could have did
Now,
it.
see how I get it wrong and
because you
stuff?
never
I ain't even did
apologized.
that.
no, because you're being polite this time. But we can go back on the videos and roll the tape of you going off on Laurie Strode. So I'm just stating.
Well, yeah, it'll always Yutaka's thoughts on Jamie will always, you know, they will never. He'll be fine. You can say as much as you want because I've always been so vocal about, and mine are more. He's probably got more people who agree with him than I have about mine. So
yeah,
that's probably very true.
I'ma knock her the fuck out. Excuse me, Lord.
But yeah,
agreed.
glad you both
I will
had that.
agree with that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess
I'm glad you don't.
Yeah.
I just have no thoughts on it, to be honest.
So, the next one that I have is, I guess all of mine were horror. Well, there was one that wasn't, and I'll do that as an honorable mention. But I feel like we kind of need to talk about a sequel that just just created. It's so meme worthy. It is so funny, and actually, it's more comedy, but it's still technically horror as well. That would be Scary Movie 2.
Scary Movie 2.
Yep. I mean, come on. That movie is so good, so iconic. I mean, the first one was fun, but Scary Movie 2.
Would you run from Callista Flockhart?
Oh God. That's one of my favorites. She's like, well, we both. She's like, we're gonna die. Well, would have just been you if you would just shut the fuck up, or you know.
And that is now twice. Yutaka has ruined the monetization.
We're fine now. It's past the past the mark.
But like the guy who also could
do
everything himself. You know,
yes,
he's like, I can do it myself, and you're like, what the? And then, of course, here, grab my strong hand. It's just, it really is such a fun movie.
Yep.
Oh,
my terms.
Oof.
So I loved it. I think like the ones that came after weren't as good in my opinion as 2.
No.
2 just was a whole nother, like, I wish they would bring that back. I would love to see one more movie with Brenda or Regina Hall.
They really
Anna
just like,
Faris.
it's the perfect time. You like everyone's been saying, like, bring it back and you call it
Yeah.
Scary Movie because of all the new horror movies that just name themselves after the original.
Oh, George, that would be. I like that idea.
And then you do it like, you know, this new Halloween Scream, and you make it about like,
Yeah.
and you could do it
That
there's
is
so
a
much
good
material.
idea, George. I like that. I'd
Like,
watch it.
I would. Those two are so iconic together. Like,
Oh my god. Or what was the one? Which one was it where they were riffing on the Village and Brenda was just like, "Well, I don't care what we do." She's like, or she's trying to get that one guy.
she's like, yeah,
the
maybe we could
minister's
go to
son.
a room where there are no others.
She's like, "Or you all can watch. I don't care."
Yeah. Regina Hall is iconic.
I love Regina Hall so much.
But
And the fact that she's that, and then she's also
the really great dramatic actress.
Yeah, like exactly, Master.
Yeah.
Like she got it all.
Master was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Girls Trip, and we're getting a Girls Trip too. I'm so happy,
Yeah.
even if I do have to put up with Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh.
What?
Well-
It's not my fault. She's an annoying bald bitch.
Keep my wife's name out.
So, yeah, anyway, we all gave some really good sequels.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna go around to see if you have any other ones that are like a quick honorable mention.
New Nightmare.
Yeah, that was on my list.
Dream Warriors.
28 weeks later.
Yeah, it was. The opening is.
I still know what she
Exorcist
did
3?
last summer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, The Exorcist 3 is a good one. You know, I was gonna actually talk about that because that is a great freaking film.
Yes, we don't talk about the second one, but the third
No.
one.
we presume that does not exist, but the third one is just so good. And I can't believe we didn't mention this, but let's be serious. Child's Play 2.
Yes, of course.
Well, we wanted to go for things that.
True.
Well,
We wanted to talk
two of
about
us-
things
I mean,
we haven't
I
had
two
was-
of us
really.
wanted
we
to go
haven't-
for things that we haven't really spoke about.
To be fair, I was expecting Yutaka when he started mentioning the film that's very meme worthy and a comedy, but also horror. I was waiting for him to turn around and say Terrifier 2.
No.
Yeah.
I talk about that too much, and people already know.
Do you prefer Terrifier 2 over the sequel? Or the first one I meant to ask?
Oh, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
it really improved. Like the first one's both are like a grindhouse flick, but I think the first one you're still getting used to the character.
It's a bit more serious, the first
Art
one.
doesn't have the great personality that he does in 2,
2, yeah.
which is just hilarious camp. You know. But yeah, I was gonna say the other one because I love gore. The other one that I could think of was The Collection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just from the club scene alone, where they're all partying, they're all dancing, and then it just mows them down.
You're gone.
Yeah.
I was going to mention VHS
I did have
as
on my
well.
list. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Which
VHS. Well, it would have been 2 or 94 VHS.
Fair.
Sorry, Liam.
Because I did have on my initial list, but then obviously because we were supposed to have David here. But yeah, sorry, we should have told everyone. Fortunately, David's hemorrhoids are playing up again. So
Yeah.
you had to just dip.
He's got to get rid of them before he goes back to see Nick in Chicago. So
You all.
Yeah. He doesn't want to give Nick a disappointing time.
Oh my god.
You think I forgot about that? Hell no, bitch.
But because obviously he enjoyed the first one, and I quite enjoyed both of them. Escape Room. So Escape Room 2 was initially on my list, but I took it off so that I
Really?
didn't discuss it in front of David.
Oh, I didn't like Escape Room 2 at all.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't as good as the first one.
No, yeah.
But it was still...
the first one is a ride. The second one, I was like, ooh.
Then, because David's not here, I'll give one that David would have said, and that's Psycho 2. Because...
True, yeah. That is... I feel like he would have mentioned that, and possibly he might have mentioned Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yeah.
He probably
And
mentioned
Elvira's...
Haunted... Haunted Hills? Hidden Hills. Jesus, what's it called?
The
Oh
Haunting
my
of
God,
Hill
I'm so
House?
sorry, David. No, Elvira.
Elvira, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He probably would have mentioned that. So,
To those of you,
Haunted Hills.
Ah.
Oh, Jesus, I got there in the end.
You did. Bravo.
Well, Googled it.
yeah.
But this was really fun talking about sequels. These are some of our favorites. There's, comment down below. Let us know your
What are
favorite
yours?
sequels.
Yeah, I don't know.
Make sure hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we put out new content. And we got a lot coming out. I promise we'll do more reviews. We do have more interviews. George is gaming now, which is really fun to watch. Really fun. Even if he sucks at it, it's fun. And we're going to have some more. Steve is going to be participating more. We're going to do a live show every other Thursday, so that's fun. And Yellow Jackets. And by the time this comes out, the live will have already happened. So, but
if we haven't, go and watch the live from Monday.
Yeah, go and watch. We're going to have a special guest. It's really fun. It's Jay Meets World. And we're going to go live, take questions, talk fun stuff. Maybe British girl bands.
Oh,
I know.
Sugar Babes.
Mm-hmm. Which I didn't know. I guess the group Flow, they're a British band, British girl group.
Yeah.
I just discovered them. They are good.
Did you just assume they were American?
No, I didn't even know who they were, honestly.
Oh, well, to be fair, they've only just come about. It's not like behind.
I was shocked because I would have expected
like
you
usual.
to have been like raving about them because I know how you are and I am about the groups over in the UK.
I've never heard one of their songs. I just see them on every red carpet. I'm like, good for them.
They are.
I don't know who they are though.
But anyways, go watch that live. We're gonna have a good time. And with that being said, just thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And this time I won't forget to put them on the streaming platforms.
Yeah, the audio. Please.
Yeah, Yutaka. Old Yutaka here. I had to put up 2 episodes because I forgot to put them up. Guys, you're going to have to old yeller me and take me out back. I think it's time.
God love him.
But with that, thank you so much. And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Goodbye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.